Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at the best perks you can choose for slot 1, 2 and 3 of your class setup. We're also going to take a look at Warzone Ranked to see which is the best overall in the community. It's been chosen there, and we're also going to look at the KDs that come with them perks in the community and which is the best KD perks out there right now. Let's jump into the video. So how this video is going to work is I'm going to go through each perk and I'm going to explain what each one does because they're different than multiplayer. Multiplayer and Warzone have different effects, and then I'm going to explain why I think certain ones are better than others and my final recommendations for what you should use on the type of player that you are. So that's how it's going to work. So we're going to jump straight into perk 1. So the first perk on the list is double time. This is for increasing your tactical sprint time. Also increases your crouch movement speed by 30%. So if you want to be a bit more sneaky, I guess you could use it. People do use this to get around the map quicker. It is used a bit, but not as much as the next perk. But if you really want to be quick and you're really good at that slide cancel for extra speed, then this is the one you want to go for just getting to places quickly. EOD, arguably the most important perk 1 that you want to use. This will stop damage from explosive and fire equipment. So this is talking about Molotovs, termites, Semtexes, C4s, all of the above, any lethal weapon. These hit you directly, however, you will still go down. If it hits near you and sets you on fire, or it just hits with a blast, you will survive. With this perk, 9 times out of 10 you're going to survive a blast, but only if you get direct hitted, you're going down. Scavenger, a little bit different than what you want to be using in Warzone, because Warzone always has ammo around the place, so Scavenger is kind of a waste. There's only some times where you don't have ammo, and if you don't, you can just search a little bit and you can find it. Cold-blooded, this is probably up with the top 3 in perk 1s that people are using. So as I said, so EOD, double time and cold-blooded are kind of a bundle of what people use. So cold-blooded will help you not be noticed by thermal optics if anyone has that on their weapon, and AI targeting systems. Doesn't affect recon drones, as you can see, but cannot be marked. So you can still be seen on a recon drone, but it cannot mark you. So if that's what you're wondering, when you get marked in a game and it just flashes, you won't be able to be marked when you're cold-blooded. Kill chain, so with Warzone, it increases your chance of finding kill streaks and supply drops. Not effective for Warzone Rumble, of course. This is kind of cool if you wanted to find a load of kill streaks, but depends how many kill streaks you can hold, and you need to kind of weigh up the options. Would you rather have EOD saving your life from grenades, or even being quicker with double time? Or would you like to just find random kill streaks that you might not use for ages until you see an enemy team? It's up to you, but that's what that does if you really want to know what that does. So, and quick fix, this is more for kind of people that are big pushers and want to get the kills. If you push in and you kill someone, your health will automatically regenerate fully. So it comes in handy, I guess, if you've been cracked and hurt. So your health will come back up and you can take on the next challenge with full health. Once again, you don't want to really be challenging anyone with no plates because they'll just drop you really quickly, even if you have full health in this game. So it's okay, mediocre at best. I wouldn't pick it myself. So moving on to perk number 2. This is an interesting one because it actually gives you so many options, and it depends how you want to run your game. So first off, we're going to start off with restock. So restock is actually one of the most overpowered perks in the game that no one really uses because of what else is in this perk slot, which is Ghost. Restock will recharge equipment that you have over a 50-second time gap. So if you run stuns and Semtexes, this is very important because when you run into teams, as long as you have a minute in between running into another team, your stun would automatically generate. And if you know Warzone, stuns can save you and it can help you win a battle easily, because once you're stunned, the player cannot move. You can push in and get kill. So you can see, and I'll show you with stats on Warzone Ranked afterwards, how restocked is actually provides players with a higher KD just because of how they play, and they're aggressive with stuns. So if you want more kills and you want to be able to take teams down easier, restock is definitely a good option. Hardline, 25% off your prices and kill streaks, deals, armor plates, and so on. So it's just giving you cheaper prices at the shop. Not really worth it, to be honest. For what you're getting, you're only getting 25% off. I wouldn't recommend this. It's just a waste of a really important slot for perk 2, because perk 2 has so many valuable perks that you need to use. One of them valuable perks is overkill. So overkill is a very important perk that a lot of people use, and I think it's probably the most popular, or close to most popular perk that everyone is using right now. And it's the first loadout that drops, you get it, and you get your 2 primary weapons, so you don't have a secondary, and the secondary would include like a melee weapon or a pistol or a rocket launcher or something like that. Instead of having one of them, you actually have another primary, which is an SMG, an AR, a sniper rifle. It depends, whatever you want to use and whatever you want to run in your build. This is a very important perk at the start of the game because you get your 2 best guns, and then the next loadout, most people will go and get Ghost then, so they're hidden with their 2 best guns. High alert, this is noticed, and I've seen this a few pros use this. It's okay. It will generate this pulse of orange left, right, top or bottom of your screen. When someone is aiming down sight, they have to be aiming down sight on their gun towards you, and it needs to be within 100 meters. So if it's not within 100 meter radius, it won't trigger. So it's only beneficial when someone's in 100 meter zone of you, and it's gives you a quick flash so you can kind of alert your friends and turn and go and hide and prone or whatever. So Ghost, as I said, close to overkill, one of the most important perks in the game. Overkill is probably the most important to get first. Ghost is probably the most important to get second if you get overkill first. If you can't get overkill first, then Ghost kind of takes priority here, and you want to take it because you don't want to be seen on radar. It kind of kills you when teams are pushing, looking for kills, and you're on the UAVs, you're on the maps, you're really easy to spot. How Ghost works is basically it will take you off the map if a UAV pops up. It will take you off the map if heartbeat sensors are near you. No one will see you. You could be right next to them, they won't know you're there as long as you're quiet. One confusion that comes with this is when advanced UAVs go up. So an advanced UAV is when someone applies 3 UAVs at the same time, and it shows an advanced UAV showing direction of where players are going with a triangle. If you're ghosted, you will just come up as a dot, and a dot with an arrow above or below your dot will tell you if that person's above or below you, and that's more or less how that works. That's the only time you probably could be seen when you're ghosted, is someone has an advanced UAV, and it's only for a dot section, it's not for the directional, so they don't know what direction you're running. Either way, Ghost is very important, definitely the best, if close to best perk for perk 2. So Point Man, last perk in perk 2 section, is a weird one. It lets you earn more money from complete missions. Once again, similar to Hardline, unless you really need the money or you really need the cost decrease or increase, whatever way it works, it's not really beneficial because everything you can kind of get, you can afford anyway, and I don't see it's not going to make a huge difference overall of the length of a game. So in my opinion, waste of a perk. Do not use this. So perk number 3, this one is interesting enough for people because it has a few different options, and it's not, none of them are completely overpowered. I would say this is the most balanced one, if any. So Tune Up is one where you can revive your teammates 25% faster. Not really beneficial in Warzone because, to be honest, the revive time isn't that long, so don't waste your perk on this, to be honest. Just skip over this one. Amped is the one I usually always run. I love Amped. When I start off, as I said, I start off with Overkill, and I want to be able to swap between them weapons really quickly, 2 primary weapons, and Amped gives you the effect of just like fluid motion from your primary to your secondary, no problem. This obviously doesn't affect if it's pistols or knives, so if you go Ghost straight away and have Amped, you're obviously going to be faster, and then it makes most equipment to be used faster. So Amped is very important for speed. And I've noticed when you don't have Amped, you feel very sluggish, and you can get caught out when you have to swap to a secondary to take down a close range player. If you don't have Amped on, it's so slow and they'll kill you way before that. So it's really, really beneficial. I'd say I'd rank this at the top one of this kind of balance section. Shrapnel just gives you an extra piece of lethal damage equipment, so extra Semtex, extra C4, so on and so on. Nothing special there. If you just want some extra C4s or Semtexes, put this on. Wouldn't recommend it because you just find them all over the ground. You find them on dead bodies, you find them everywhere. Battle Hardened, I would love to see this get kind of buffed. It's meant to help you with like the same way EOD would help you with an explosive lethal equipment. This is meant to help you with kind of more of a stun, flash, EMP and gas effects, and you're immune to snapshot grenades, which is mediocre at best because no one really uses snapshot grenades. But sadly, it doesn't work as much as you'd want it. I think they need to increase the strength of this, like decrease the length of time you have for stuns and gas and so on if you do get hit. This would make this a very, very valuable perk then, and more balanced with like Amped and maybe Tracker. Spotter, which is kind of cool. No one really uses Spotter, but you can mark equipment for your teammates. Like you can hack enemy claymores, proxy mines, C4s and trophies. So if you see it through a wall, you can hack it, and then if they run into it, it actually hits them, which is really cool. This would be a really good trolling thing to use if you want to troll teams and stuff that are kind of camping in buildings. So that's what it basically does. You can see stuff through walls, and you can kind of hack them, and it can come in handy, and you can see when trophies are set up, so you don't waste Semtexes and stuns on a team in a building if you know there's going to just be countered by the trophy. Yeah, so that's Spotter, so if you want to give that a shot, there you go. And the last but not least is Tracker, and I've seen loads of people use Tracker as well, especially lately. into new season, because people are just tracking and following people hunting for kills, and it gives you the footstep trail of an enemy in like red footprints, and this is actually pretty helpful for chasing down a player. That's really it. It also hides death markers of the enemies, but that's only kind of important in multiplayer. Overall, if you wanted my opinion on the perks, the way I've set them up is EOD, Overkill and Amped is what I would choose, and I would change my Overkill to Ghost on my second loadout. They're the ones I would go for. I'm going to jump onto Warzone Ranked. I'm going to show you what the general community uses, and you can see the KDs and you can understand why people are using them. So here are the stats for general perk slots. So as you can see, slot 1, double time is very popular, and so is EOD and Cold Blooded. As I said, pretty obvious. And you can see the KDs are basically the same with double time and EOD, so it depends what you want. Do you want to be quicker, or do you want to save yourself from explosions? It's up to you. But they're kind of split, and then you have a few people that are still going for Cold Blooded. And that's really it. The rest are kind of spread out with smaller percentages. Yeah, so as you can see, Ghost and Overkill are the main perk 2 ones. Everyone uses them, but if you look closely over here, you can see that the KD better with Ghost because people aren't dying on heartbeats and UAVs and so on. Overkill is going to be a bit lower because you get that at the start usually, and people can see you on UAVs and so on. But as you can see, Restock has the best KD with a small pick. So if you're a good team at pushing, and you're like your stuns and your Semtex, as I said, you take down teams a lot easier and you actually win them battles. Probability of winning is better because you have stuns and they're just restocking after 50 seconds, giving you another advantage to jump in again and again, and having 2 stuns is so good for pushing a team. So you can see where this comes in handy. And then actually surprisingly, High Alert has a small pick ratio as well, but the KD is 1.27, so maybe people are actually figuring out that when they do see them, they're hiding, they're getting away from being killed quicker because the flash is giving them that alert. Test out Restock and High Alert and see if they're any good for you, but always remember you will not have Ghost if you have these. It has to go away. So if you don't have Ghost, remember you will be on the radar, and if you don't mind and you can play in a team, then you're okay. But if you like being ghosted and you don't like people seeing you in heartbeats and UAVs and so on, then don't use them. But I just wanted to give you some insight to what people are using and the KDs that they have from using them. So perk slot 3 is, as I said again, pretty straightforward. Amped, Tracker and Battle Hardened are the main ones. Amped is 100% the out and out winner here. 64% ratio picked this, and then Tracker is 21%. And as I've seen, Tracker's kind of only picked up in the last few seasons, so I would still say Amped is the best just for swapping out your weapons, swapping out your 2 primaries. It can just save the day. It helps you swap your weapon quicker, take on closer teams, further teams, so on and so on. And the KD shows it was 1.13, which is above average, whatever. It's pretty good. Yeah, so guys, that's the video. They are the perks, and they're the best perks you could probably use. As I said, EOD, Overkill, Amped is the best ones for me, and then I changed perk 2 for Ghost, and that is my one I run. If you want to try some more aggressive things, as I said, try Restock, try double time, and so on. And you can look at the Warzone ranked chart as I showed you at the end there. It will show you what everyone's using in the community. So hopefully this video brought some value. If it did, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, it helped me grow, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.